The Unplayable Podcast is proudly presented by Qantas, the official podcast partner and the official airline partner of Cricket Australia. Once again this season, Qantas is proud to be flying Australia's cricketers as they take on the world. Hey everyone, welcome back to the Unplayable Podcast. Really exciting episode today. We are just over a week out from the first ball of the Ashes series. We can't wait. My name is Josh Schonafinger, joined by Kane, Richardson and Richo. This is going to be our last in-person pod for a while before the Ashes kicks off.
Season finale. We're finally here. I think it's been, well, my count in my notes, it's episode 17.
Wow, okay.
Does that feel right?
That does feel about right.
We did one or two remote from the top end. But yeah, apart from that, we've clocked them up. So all good things must come to an end, but also time flies when you're having fun. All those cliches apply, don't they? So, but you'll be off on assignment on bigger and better things. Are you sure you want to go? You sure you don't want to sit back here and we can recap on maybe watch on the TV?
I'm looking forward to getting out of the Perth. That'll be good fun.
Yeah,
and of course, you'll be busy as well, playing for the Sydney Sixers.
I won't be as busy as you, that's for sure. But I'll be tuning into the pod and I got some cricket coming up, obviously, but it's not the main thing everyone's looking forward to. And it's right on it's right in front of us. Next week, it's coming quick, so can't wait.
Yeah, we'll just be taking it one podcast at a time, won't we?
Like it.
So weekly winner, let's get into that because that's been the staple of this show.
It has, but I feel like it's been fading the last couple of weeks. So we got to go out with a bang.
You said the quiet part out loud there. We've all been thinking it, but let's finish with a bang here.
Well, you go first.
Okay, well, I'm going to go a little bit left field. Everyone's going to be talking Ashes this week, but I want to talk umpires.
Okay.
Rodney Tucker. Now, this isn't news because he broke the Australian record for most tests umpired by an Australian in that Pakistan versus South Africa test not too long ago.
You're right.
Congratulations to Rod. And now Sam Nagowski is making his test debut in the Bangladesh versus Ireland test match. So Aussie umpires doing well on the world stage.
Don't get enough credit, do they?
No, they don't.
It's really unheralded. And
we don't see them a lot because obviously they can't.
Yeah, the Australian guys.
Not allowed to do the Aussie test
and
matches.
That's still a rule, isn't it?
It is, yep.
So they go, they're always away. They're always overseas. Got a pretty tough job.
It is tough, yeah.
A lot of travel, a lot of scrutiny. Don't get reported on enough. So I'm sure they'll be happy to finally get their names mentioned. But it is, I mean, whatever you do, you want to be as good as possible at your craft. And I mean, to rack up a record like that, but also test debut, that's a massive achievement for Sam. So, worthy weekly winners.
And he would have been on the domestic scene. Well, he's been on the domestic scene for 10 or so years, and he would have been dreaming about reaching the top level, much like players do.
That's it. Again, anything you start and put time into, you want to reach the pinnacle, and he has. I remember, Shield cricket 10, 15 years ago with Sam. So
okay, right.
He's plied his trade. And there's long days in the field. You're putting up with some guys' behaviours and 18-year-old kids. I remember having him at my end. I think he's a school teacher.
Okay.
So very well
knows how to deal with young kids.
Knows how to deal. He dealt with me a lot of times, and it was like I'd go down final leg and be like, yeah, okay, that was fair enough what he said. So good on him.
Any favourite umpires from your time in cricket?
Big Davo from New South Wales.
Oh, yeah.
He's
the nose scratcher.
He's one of my favourites. Every time you appeal, he kind of, it's like his mannerisms change. He realises the spotlight's on him. And, he's one of my favourites. Great fella. There's a couple that, when I first started, that aren't on the circuit anymore, domestic cricket, that I think back to, and I think what they're doing now, but they were my favourites. I won't name them. But great, almost guys you want to have a beer with after a game. And it probably doesn't happen a lot. Like umpire-player relationships have to be, you can't really be best buds.
You have to keep your distance a bit.
Yeah. But also like Blocker Wilson was a favourite because the guys that used to play as well, you've got a bit more credit in the bank with certain players, I would say. Pistol as well, Paul Rifle. So it's actually... You could talk about this. Should be a separate podcast. We should get some umpires on.
Maybe we should.
They've probably got better stories to tell than players.
Yeah, they would. But from experience, I've had limited dealings with umpires, and they're always a bit coy and a bit. They want to keep their cards close to their chest. Is there a bit of player-umpire confidentiality?
Well, that's what I mean. Yeah. I think that's what they don't give it a lot away. Even when you try and talk to them, if you see them the day before a game or the day of a game walking around, they don't give you much.
Okay.
I think they try and keep it very professional. Cool. Yeah. So. It's a really untapped market, though. There could be a little audience. Let us know if you want to hear more from the umpires. I reckon some of them are desperate for a Jared Abood. He would love to talk.
Yeah.
He's a talker.
Okay.
So there's some of them who will probably, if you get them in a bar, I reckon they'll let some stories slip.
We could get Jared in here and we could all wear the helmets as we're doing the pod.
Yeah,
So,
I like that.
Who's your weekly winner?
Well, you've just blown it out of the water. I feel like I don't need one. But I've given it to mannerisms.
Okay.
Steve Smith.
He's back.
He's back. And it looks peak Smith, doesn't it?
Yeah, the twirl.
The twirl, just the leaves, the unnecessary energetic leaves. And
it's a good sign.
It is a good sign.
Why,
That's why
why is it a good sign, though?
Well, I think it's when he's playing at his best and when he's in form and when he's really up for it, he's that way inclined, isn't he? So I've read some comments on social media and, geez, people are getting excited. Not excited that he made 50 in a low-scoring innings and that he looks really good and he's playing good shots. No. None of that. It's how is he leaving the ball? How much carry-on is there when he gets a good one that beats him? How's his reaction to that? What's his feedback to the bowler? So there was a little bit of byplay between him and Marnus, as there was always going to be in that last Shield game. And he got 100 there in tough conditions. So I think everyone's penciling Smith in for a big Ashes.
And people talk about when Smith gets into this bubble, when he's totally at the top of his game and he's doing these things, he's probably not thinking about it.
Yeah.
Have you seen that up close, or what's it like when he is in the zone?
Well, it's that. So I think what you see is exactly like in his own head. It wouldn't feel unnecessary or like he's none of this movement is like over exemplified or any of that. That's just him letting a ball go like most people do in such a robotic manner. But for him, you're right. He's probably thinking a million different things. I know he's like visually, he's got things with his shoes where he cuts off labels or like he can't have his shoelaces out under his pad. Like there's so much stuff that goes into him and his brain, and he's a master at his craft, but there's so much more to it. And it's tough being 12th man as well, because if you run out a pair of gloves that have like, I don't know if there's like a little bit of fabric that's
a frayed edge.
Yeah, like send them back. Or if they're not the ones he wanted, he swaps every couple of overs. So
he carries about a dozen pairs of gloves.
Yeah, a lot. Yeah, he's a nightmare. But for someone who doesn't have to do that anymore, it's great to watch, and he does look in good form.
And he's got all those taps of the knees and the shoulders and the elbows as well.
It's been
the same every ball.
Well, it's been well documented, hasn't it? Yeah. The people on social media have filmed that and counted every time he does it.
Yeah.
So it's going to be, he's the great of the generation. We just don't want our kids copying that because that's authentic. You can't.
Manufacture.
Yeah, you can't manufacture that. You can't coach that. So just let him be. But I dare say we're going to be hopefully seeing a lot of that over the summer. Okay,
well, good signs then potentially for Australia's top order. The first test is on November 21, so just over a week away. It's going to be at Perth Stadium over there in the West. And a lot of the Aussie players in that Aussie squad have started this Sheffield Shield round pretty well.
Yep.
Let's run through a couple. I guess let's start with Smith. As you said, he scored 57 when New South Wales were bowled out for 170, I think.
Yep.
So a really impressive performance. Stark and Lyon both took 4 wickets in the first innings there. And Scott Boland, 2 wickets in that New South Wales innings. He got Sam Qantas again for the 6th time. Nobody else has dismissed Sam more than twice in the Sheffield Shield, and yet Boland's got him half a dozen.
Record. Yeah. You mentioned it last week, didn't you?
Yeah.
A little nemesis there. Good to see Smith in the runs. The rest of the New South Wales batters, the Australian public are angry with you. Our big boys need a rest. We can't have Stark and Hazelwood playing a Shield game and you giving them, how many overs did they bat? 50?
Yeah, it's not enough.
That's not enough. Starkey, 20 overs in the first dig, took 4 for. Same with Nathan Lyon. We're not sending we're not sending your Ferraris back. And we're not going to keep him just running laps of the circuit. We need to put him in the garage.
Definitely.
For longer than 50
overs.
Let him
cool down. Yeah, so 50 overs, 128 they were bowled out for. So
and they're back in the field now. So
less than 2 sessions.
Not ideal. So I don't know. I know there's the injury replacement. Maybe there's Ash's test replacements.
Yeah.
Nah, boys, you don't get them today. All right, we're taking them back. We're going to send them to Perth early to get accustomed to the.
Might have to. Yeah.
Yeah, I was unhappy with that. So, but good signs. I'm sure they're fine with that. And yes, as you said, they're all in the wickets. And then throughout the other games as well, there's some good signs from. Was it basically everyone apart from Usman Khawaja that's playing this round?
Yep, that's right. Yeah, so Usman just a slight adductor strain, nothing to worry about according to team physio is just making sure he's cherry ripe for that first test. Matt Renshaw, not in the Aussie squad, got 100. That's a pretty good statement from him.
Well, it is. And if you've seen, I looked at some of the highlights last night. That pitch didn't look too dissimilar to the rest of the outfield. It was so green. And the whacker has been.
Yeah, it has been, hasn't it, recently?
Green. I looked at some of Cam Green's bowling highlights.
Thoughts?
Oh, yeah.
He's
good.
on.
He's good.
Right.
Even just the dismissal, he got 1 for 13 off 8. Just the way he got Lovell
out.
No, he got Lovell.
Lovell.
Renshaw 100. He only bowled 8.
Oh, yeah.
And as we've said, perfect. That's all you need from him, right? 8 overs. Geez, look fast. The Nick Inglis, caught up here. I know it's the whacker and a juicy one, but yeah, he looks good to go. So, but yeah, for Renshaw to make 100 on that, and Queensland in general to put on 360 on the first day on what looks a pretty good, looks seriously green. Some good signs there. So I know he's not in the original squad, Renshaw, but he's got this Shield game, and was there 2 more to go before the Ashes, before Big Bash starts?
Yeah, I think 2 more rounds. Yeah.
So if he can keep making runs, the Ashes squad picked isn't for the 5 tests.
That's right. Yeah.
So there's who knows? Hopefully there's not opportunity, but I dare say there might be at some point. So good signs for him.
So Green bowled 8 overs on that first day. Is that enough? You're gonna just put the cue in the rack for him now?
No. Well, they said he needs to bowl 15 to 20.
They did say that. Yeah.
So another 8 in the second
innings. Yeah.
7. Give him 15. He doesn't need to bowl 20. He's good to go. Just It looks. There's a highlights package on cricket.com of the full spell, the full 8 overs. So give it a watch.
Yeah, definitely. Get on there. Have a look. CA Live app as well. You can watch it on there.
Download the app.
And the other match there, of course, is Tasmania versus South Australia down in Hobart. Now, I thought the Tassie curators, given they have Weatherald and Webster in the squad, would have rolled out a nice flatty for their local boys. Wasn't the case. No. Again, a very green-looking wicket down there. Weatherald got 23 and 30. So starts in both innings is something, and then Webster took 5 with the ball. So what do you think? Does that help or hinder Weatherald's chances?
Well, like you said, starts in both in pretty juicy green conditions. Not a bad. He's pretty unlucky. Both chop-ons.
And both to Liam Scott.
Liam Scott, your boy. So you'd actually be pretty happy with that. But I know the first dig was not a filthy cut shot, but it was a drag. It was a drag on from wide of the stumps. And then the second innings, kind of indecisive, letting one go. So he's pretty unlucky, I would say. And he prides himself on being good decision, especially outside off. That's the strength of his game. So he'd be disappointed on that. But I think if you're getting starts in those conditions, your game's in good order. So, and I know that SA attack's pretty strong. McAndrew, Doggett, Pfeiffer in the first innings as well, just to back up being picked in the Ashes squad. So there's good signs, and you could argue, you would like a flat wicket for Webster and Weatherall, but then you also got Carey and Head in the opposition. You probably don't want to give them too much opportunity. So, but this is Shield cricket now. People are really paying attention to these last few rounds. This is the way it's been for years now. It's bloody nice to bowl on. So that just shows why Jake Weatherall's such a worthy selection in the squad with the runs he's put up in the last few years.
Definitely. I saw some highlights as well from Alex Carey's innings, 59 off 63. Very attacking stuff, aggressive stuff, walking down the fast bowlers. And I think we might see that during the test series as well. So no runs for Travis Head in that first innings, but he's got a chance in the second.
Well, filthy dismissal too. It was almost off the pitch, and he's tried to hit it for 6 over point and somehow nicked it to Bo Webster. And good for Bo as well. I know you said he missed out with the bat, but with all the talk that's coming with him and Cam Green vying for the same position, or will they both be in the team? But to just, if you miss out with the bat, what does a good all-rounder do? They go and take Pfeiffer, don't they?
That's true.
And he got apart from that head dismissal, he got him out in genuine ways. So he's in, again, good form as well. So hopefully some runs for him in the second dig. But yeah, great signs. Carey, the way he's playing, I think that's the way the Ashes in general, there's going to be a real heavy theme of, if guys are under pressure, how are they going to go about it? They're not going to knuckle down. I don't think they're going to look to bat long periods. They're going to look to put it back on the opposition, and that's what England obviously are going to try to do as well. So he's changed his game in the last couple of years and gone ultra aggressive, I feel. But he's still got that ability to play different ways. But I think when he's playing at his best, it is aggressive in that counter-attacking kind of way that allows the tail end to kind of just bat with him and soak up pressure.
Has he not always sort of been that aggressive? You reckon it's escalated in the last few years? I think so.
Yeah, I think he's. It shows with his white ball stuff how much he's improved at that as well. But I remember when he first started playing state cricket, the directive from the coaches was always that he should be not out. Batting at 7 for South Australia, they always said, you don't give your wicket away trying to force quick runs. And I don't know whether he agreed with that at the time, but he, being the way he is, he would play that way and just
he'd give the strike to the number 11.
Well,
and say,
there was times where he did, and maybe he wanted the not out, but I think he's changed so much in that he'll play the opposite way now. He'll take the responsibility. And he's so good. I think he's so good as well, which shows when he goes back to domestic cricket, very rarely he strikes under 80 in a Shield game. It's always around 100. So, he's in probably in as good a form as he could be in going into such a big series. Yeah,
in the last few years in the test level, he hasn't batted selfishly. He's batted selflessly. Yeah, just the way he's gone about his runs and not worried about averages and those sorts of things. So good signs for him. Brendan Doggett, you did touch on him. He got 5 for. He's now averaging 17 with the ball this calendar year. So from the start of 2025 right through the English summer, which he played a couple of games, I think, for Durham.
Yeah.
He's just on a heater at the minute. If ever there's a chance that he gets that baggy green, hopefully it's when he's in good form like this. But of course, he's just down in the pecking order at the minute.
He is. But then again, we've spoken about at length five tests, such high pressure, it'll be fatiguing for all the bowlers. And we've spoken about our bowling group, as great as they are, there's age, there's miles on the body. So if there's an opportunity for him to play, like you said, there's no better time to get an opportunity. And if Pat Cummins does come back into the mix in the second, third, fourth, whenever it is, and you can not rotate, but you can still find a way to give Hazelwood a test off and get Doggett in, know that he's going to be at the level and be ready to go, then what a great problem to have. So I don't know whether it'll happen, but I could very easily sit here and see it happening.
Okay.
Yeah.
And so let's say that we get to that first test. Stark, Hazelwood and Boland are in.
Yeah.
One of Doggett or Abbott are the 12th.
Yeah.
You said you've done a bit of 12th work before. Yeah. What is the key for those guys to be the best 12th?
Well, there's always an argument you don't want to be good at it. This was back when I was a kid. They're like, the old pros don't want to be good at it. I was like, well, I kind of do because I want to keep, you
help your teammates.
Yeah. Well, obviously that's first and foremost, but also I want the match payment. Like I'm getting paid the same amount as you. So for anyone listening, this is, and I'm not sure it's the same in Test cricket. I definitely don't think it's the same in Test cricket, but in Shield cricket, the 12th man gets the same match payment as the team, and there's always an argument of same pay, no pressure. So you're the ones out there playing. I've got a week in Hobart and all I've got to do is clock on for 8 hours and be really good at it. And then I can go out for a nice dinner, no stress for the week. So yeah, the old pros would always say, you don't want to be good at it because they'll keep making you 12th man. It's like, well, I don't think that applies. So you want to be good at it because it shows you also care about your teammates. And we know no one wants to do it, but it's part of the game. And it is one of those things that I think in 10, 15 years, it won't be part of the game. I don't think we want Brendan Doggett running back and forth 300 times over the course of 5 days with bottles of water and gloves, and then all of a sudden he's playing in Adelaide or Brisbane, the second test. So
doesn't seem like ideal prep, does it?
Well, you look at all the other sports in the world and they've got trainers and you know
ex-players will do it. Or
well,
whatever,
you get kids in and they do that. They do get local kids to come in and help out, but strictly 12th man, I think if you're not playing, you rest, recuperate, train, get ready for the next test. You don't have to worry about bananas and gloves and Steve Smith's shoelaces and all that kind of stuff. But maybe it's one of those things that will never go because it is unique to cricket.
Okay. And obviously Clubland, mixing cordial is sort of a big thing. Is that a thing at international level or is it all Powerade?
That's all taken care of. Yeah.
Right.
Strength and conditioning, physio. Well, it depends how good they are, but a lot of them, that's their niche.
Don't even get to touch that stuff.
No, well, yeah. Because again, you get to the game, if you get told you're not playing, the last thing you should have to do is I have to go get 15 sachets of Hydrolyte and Gatorade and mix it. Like I'm a cricketer.
Yeah.
I'm here to play. So if you're not picking me, that's fine. Yeah. But I'm also don't want to go do this. So
gotcha.
But at Shield level, very different. You do have to put time in.
Okay.
There's a grounding experience. Creating, holistic people.
Yeah. I love that.
So to speak.
So England, they're in the country. They're over there in Perth. They have got a 3-day match against the England Lions. So very much an intra-squad to a degree, although that Lions team are more up-and-comers than the Test players. They're going to be playing at Lilac Hill, which I remember from playing Cricket 04 on the PS2 was one of the venues you could play at.
Yeah.
And Harry Brook described it this week as low and slow and not ideal preparation for the Perth Stadium sort of pitches. Have you played out at Lilac Hill?
I played under 15s nationals, I reckon. So going back 20 years ago, maybe.
And they've played WBBL there in recent seasons as well.
I think the Scorchers I don't think they anymore, but they used to play like a pre-season game against like a Legends team. I remember Brian Lara and Andrew Simons and stuff were playing those games. I think, from memory, it's a great precinct. Like you would have 5 or 6 or maybe 4 grounds so you could see other teams while you're playing. So if you're like having a long day in the field, you could, like James Pattinson's bowling over there. And like, so it was great in that respect, but I don't think it's going to emulate Perth.
Right,
Optus. Yeah. And maybe there's a reason we've put him out at Lilac Hill. When you go to India and you're preparing for an important test series and they put you on green ones at, at Chennai, it doesn't really make sense.
It's not a coincidence.
It's all part of it, isn't it? Yeah. Touring away from home. So, I dare say they know what conditions they're going to face at Perth. And, I mean, really, does this game matter all that much to them? I doubt it. It's probably just an opportunity to get some overs into some bowlers and get adjusted to the climate.
Yeah, well, assistant coach Marcus Trescothick certainly said that he didn't expect big performances in this match to impact their first Test 11. He reckons, or he hinted that Ollie Pope is likely to keep his spot at number 3, which is a bit of a surprise given the recent groundswell for Jacob Bethel. So that'll be an interesting watch this space as well. Just sort of most of the England 11 looks pretty set. Yeah, I've got Crawley, Duckett, and then Pope. Root, Brooks, Stokes, they're obviously locks, and so is Jamie Smith. And then just the makeup of the fast bowlers. Yeah. Do they go with 4 quicks, or do you think they need to play Shoaib Bashir?
I don't know. I don't know. I do think they'll go quick heavy.
Yeah. We've seen teams play 4 quicks in Perth previously, haven't we?
Yeah, a lot of the time. To be fair, I'll some context to that will be how fit is Ben Stokes and how much work can he do?
Yeah.
Because you also don't want to cook him first test of 5. I think his bowling is going to be so important that if you do go in with 3 quicks and a spinner, but he needs to get through quite a lot of work, I don't think that's ideal. I think Joe Root is good enough to, if you're going to throw overs at a spinner just to before the second new ball or whatever it is, I don't think they're going to plan that way to be like, what if the ball's old?
Nah, they're aiming to bowl Australia out.
They're trying to bowl Australia out. And especially at Perth, like we said, you want to start the series well. So I think they're going to go in all guns blazing.
Okay, maybe 4 quicks.
What do I know? But that's the way the way they talk about cricket and the way they want to play Test cricket, I don't think they'll go against that.
The other option they have is Will Jacks, I suppose.
Yeah.
Who's more of a batting all-rounder, but he's in this squad as the second spinner, I suppose. He could bat at 8 and then bowl a few overs and then just have 3 quicks.
Yeah, again, it's taking away from the way they want to play. Yeah. I think having him at 8 would be awesome for their batting. He's the way he plays will thrive in their Test setup, but I don't think for your bowling, the way you want the bowling to pan out, I don't think that would be aligned with the way they want to play. But it is interesting as well with their batting with the Pope. I get it. You want to
Pope
with the Pope. You want to back in for the start of the series your experienced campaigners and know that someone like Bethel is waiting in the wings. But from seeing Jacob Bethel up close in England and then with the Renegades last year, you just want him to play. So
right.
There's no way of playing both, and I do get it. You give the experienced guy the first opportunity, and then you can always make adjustments. But I dare say Bethel's going to play a good part of the Ashes.
Yeah. Okay. So when we circle back to this chat in 10 years, Jacob Bethel is going to be an established Test superstar.
In 10 years.
Is that what you're going to say? No, I'm just saying if we look forward.
Well, yeah, and the argument of the spinner. Well, he bowls left arm orthodox that are more than handy.
Yeah.
And probably more in white ball cricket, but I think he's bowled in his Test career so far in New Zealand last year. I think he got some wickets, so definitely more than handy. So if you've got him and Joe Root in your top 5.
Yeah, maybe you don't need a specialist spinner.
So,
Okay, good call. Yep,
we'll
like it. Ollie Robinson as well, not in the England Test squad, but he's in Australia and he's playing grade cricket in Sydney. He had a bowl to the New South Wales Blues as well the other day. I saw. I reckon like, a lot of people have got things to say about Ollie Robinson, but I reckon this is good initiative from him.
Absolutely.
He's over here in Australia. Yeah. He's ready to play if there's an injury. And let's say there's a fair chance that one of these quicks could break down.
Yep, and we see it I remember being in England for county cricket the year that the Ashes was on. You would walk down any town in England, you'd run into an Australian state cricketer. Why are you here? Ashes is on. Just in case. Like, they're not going to fly me over from Australia.
That's right.
They might pick me because I'm here. So I'm sure Ollie's thinking the same way. But a summer in Sydney playing grade cricket, why not? I know he's falling out of the pecking order, but yeah, why wouldn't you? Come over here, be around. You never know what's going to happen. We've well documented England's pace stocks are exciting, but they can be brittle. So why not be in the same country, the same state as where the next test is going to get played, and you never know you get the call.
He's not quite as fast as the rest that they've picked, but you never know.
Well, he's experienced in Australian conditions, played the last Ashes, didn't he? And
bowled off spin in Adelaide.
Bowled off spin, so maybe there you go. That's the spinner. You pick a quick, you got 2 strings to your bow. So he had his moments as well in Australia. If the conditions suit, like there's an argument with our own pace bowling stocks with someone like a Ferg O'Neill.
That's true.
Similar kind of skill set. Super skillful, not express pace, not even close to it, but get people out. You're always going to be in the conversation to get picked.
Just a quick look at Ollie's test record. Now, averages on everything, but from 20 tests, he's taken 76 wickets at an average of 22.9.
Yeah, it's handy.
Very handy stuff. I think he got wickets in Pakistan as well in one of those tours. So a little bit versatility there. And he did get Harjas Singh out as well, friend of the show. So I'm sure Harjas will hit back. Now, just a quick one, Richo. I just wanted to get your thoughts on the 2-tier World Test Championship system, which has been the idea, according to Cricinfo report, has been scuppered. They're now looking to ditch that idea and rather than split it into 2 tiers, expand to 12 teams with the likes of Ireland, Zimbabwe and Afghanistan coming into the World Test Championship. Thoughts? Are you happy with that, or would you rather see it go down the 2-tier system?
No, I don't mind either way. I think expanding is never a bad thing. I think to have more countries playing relevant Test cricket is not going to be a bad thing, is it? To get Ireland, they're growing as a nation, give them more opportunity. Same with Zimbabwe. They've had some, I remember when I was a kid, they would come over and tour Australia and play Test series. So to get them back to that point, but I mean, the 2-tier system, what would be the benefit of that? Like, what do you think from?
I'm not a fan of it because I think it would just see the top teams play each other more. Yeah. Whereas for the smaller nations to grow, they really need to play the bigger teams, both for financially and also on-field performance, experience, and those sorts of things. So I don't see too many advantages of splitting it into 6 or 2, 5 team sort of tiers.
So it'd be based off rankings, is that?
Yeah, and there would be one team that
relegated, promoted.
Yeah, at each cycle.
Okay.
But apparently that's off the table now.
I can see the argument for it to make it like that EPL kind of style where you want to be in Div 1, but obviously everyone wants to play the best teams as much as possible. That goes without saying. So I think if anything, what needs to happen is, if we want Ireland and and Zimbabwe and all of them, those Test nations that are on the cusp and really fighting for their futures. If they're playing the same competition as Australia, India, or England, their players aren't making anywhere near as much to play.
Yeah.
But they're playing for the same thing, which is the World Test Championship.
Yeah.
I think there's got to be the ICC or whoever it is, there's got to be some equity across the board. That's the word, where you want people in Zimbabwe growing up wanting to play Test cricket for Zimbabwe and playing the world at World Test Championship games. We want to one day win the World Test Championship. This is the thing we're trying to grow and make. Well, let's incentivize countries like that to, put back into Test cricket and get people wanting to play Test cricket. And that's never going to be a problem here in Australia or in India or in England or in South Africa or in New Zealand. But that's not where I think the game needs to keep growing. I think it's those smaller countries that that really do want to play Test cricket, but then they see the money that's on offer in white ball stuff, and Ireland never get their best team, for example, because Josh Little's always off playing franchise cricket. So how can we get him back playing for the country as much as possible?
Yep, I like it. Okay. One thing to work towards. 12 teams. Let's do it. Now, stories after stumps. Speaking of Test nations, West Indies are the focus of this week's episode. Richo, we've put together a really exciting episode that looks back at the 1978 tour that Australia went on. Now, all their good players were out playing World Series cricket, and so they sent over a second string at 11, and they had to play the likes of Viv Richards and Clive Lloyd and Joel Garner and basically the Great West Indians. So definitely worth a listen on your podcast feed if you want to check out stories after stumps. Now, we do have some feedback as well this week. Paul has given us a little update on why Jamie Smith is called Smudge.
Right.
He says it's based on the Smith profession, he believes. So blacksmiths and those sorts of things. Arsenal had a player in the 80s and 90s called Alan Smudger Smith.
Okay.
So definitely Steve is not the first Smudger.
Not the original. Okay.
Yeah.
I didn't think he would be either.
Okay. You didn't say that last week, though.
Nah, but it was in the back of my head. I doubt that anyone around the Australian team is smart enough to think of a nickname that is going to stick and then cross over to England.
Yeah.
I thought there would be. Smith is a pretty common last name, isn't it?
Yeah, I'd say one of the most
Well,
common.
you got one in each team. So, yeah, I dare say that someone would have made a nickname for it at some point.
Were there any ever good nickname creators in the squad, or were they all rubbish?
Well, in general, Australians, we don't. It's not a strength, is it?
Well, look at you, Richo.
Richo.
Yeah.
This is my whole life, Richo. So, what have you got?
Shona.
Yeah.
Pretty straightforward.
That's it?
Yeah.
Okay.
Well,
you've got finger.
Schooner,
You've got
maybe.
finger in your last
Well,
name.
yeah, I've had a few.
Like there's something that you could.
Yeah, get creative.
Oh,
Absolutely.
I haven't got the time right now, but
All right, let's look at some. Oh, sorry. Also, Paul also noted in his little message there to us, which he got in touch at podcast@cricket.com.au. He said his prediction is Australia 3 or 4, England 0 or 1.
okay.
So that's a good segue into our predictions.
Ashes predictions.
I didn't want to go down the
Yeah.
traditional route with this because
Yeah.
everyone's going to say, oh, most runs, most
Yeah,
wickets,
we know that.
score line. Who cares, really?
Yeah, that's irrelevant.
I want to know who's going to take the best catch because this is one of the favourite highlights.
Classic
of the summer.
catches.
Classic catches.
Is that still a thing? Are we bringing that back?
I don't know if that is still a thing.
Like these, bring them back.
Yeah, absolutely.
KFC classic catches. That's what it was for a long time.
was.
Or VB classic catches
Yep.
for a long time.
That's right.
Tune in cricket
And then
show at the lunch break.
I think you could text in your
Yeah, you
favourite
could.
and win
Yeah.
a year's supply of KFC or
Yeah.
something. Yeah, that was fun.
That was fun. And they would was it ING Cup at the time? So all cricket, domestic cricket or international, it covered. So who's going to take the best catch? That's the first question.
Yeah, that's the first question.
I'll go first on this one, and then you can go first on the next one.
Okay.
So then I'm
Yeah.
not. Well, I think Cam Green.
Okay. I had him as well.
Did ya?
Yeah.
So agree.
Agree. I mean,
It's hard to argue with the
he's got just such a good
massive hands, reach,
and his highlights reel already.
highlights reel,
Yeah.
gully. There's going to be. You think if the wickets are going to be green and spicy, there's going to be a lot going to. If it's moving big, it's going to go squarer. So gully third,
Yeah.
fourth.
Well, maybe they do need to pick Webster now, just to have
Especially
Webster and
Well,
Green
that's all you need.
in the gullies.
Just those two.
Yeah, nothing's getting through there.
Them two next to Carey, it's the whole cordon covered. And then they bowl and bat. So pretty good argument to pick both.
Maybe we need to get him in. Most short ball wickets. So obviously there's going to be a lot of nicks and edges and
Yep.
bolds this series, but who's going to surprise the batters with that short ball? Maybe a caught it, short leg or down the leg
Yeah.
side of the keeper. I reckon there's a lot of fast bowls in this series, and I reckon now I was looking at Bryden Cast because from what I've
Yeah.
seen, he's got a short ball that can really surprise the batters, but I just don't know that he's going to play
Yeah.
enough. So I've gone with Mark Wood. Is that a bit boring?
Mark Wood. A little bit.
Yeah.
I always think it's the fourth quick or the all-rounder category that gets the
Oh.
short ball wickets. Like, remember Neil Wagner?
Yeah. Wow. He was incredible.
That was his thing, right?
Yeah.
And every team kind of has that guy. I remember playing Shield cricket. It was my thing. It was like, all right, nothing else is happening. You're going to run in and bowl bounces.
You were the fourth quick.
I was the bouncer guy.
Okay.
And
God,
every team had one.
that's
It was
not
like,
fun.
whenever you batted, you're like, target on your head too, because you're the bouncer guy. So I remember doing it actually on topic, but digressing. Ryan Harris. So our old bowling coach, Joe Dawes and Ryan Harris, when Ryan Harris comes out to bat, I don't care if you got the brand new second brand new ball or it's old, you're bouncing him. And I'm the 18-year-old kid. I was like, okay. Ryan Harris, like coming back from the test team. So I bounced the hell out of Ryan Harris. My turn to bat. Ryan Harris, round the wicket straight away. And I didn't have the brain cells to think, why is he doing this? But it's because I gave him an absolute barrage the day before. So for me, it's always the guy who can't really bowl the new ball, is quick enough to bowl bouncers. You're the bouncer guy. So for me, it's either, again, Cam Green, because he's maybe 15 to 20 overs.
Yep.
Might bowl some bouncers, or Stokes.
Yeah, Stokes. Yeah.
And they go to the bouncer theory quite a lot, England, don't they? We saw, and so did Australia in the last Ashes, Cam Green.
They did, yep.
That super aggressive bouncer field, and they just absolute pepper guys for a while. So I think it's going to be one of those two guys. But it also probably going to be one of the guys who bowl 150 because they're going to bowl a lot of bouncers.
God, Joe Dawes really threw under the bus.
He did, yes. So, and I've served by throwing him under the bus. But yeah.
Have you ever spoken to Ryan Harris about that?
I think he understood. Okay. I think it's all part of the, at the end of a game, you're like, you don't have to say sorry. Like it's all, I understand. He would have been that guy at some point as well.
Because there used to be, I thought, an unwritten rule where fast bowlers didn't bounce other fast bowlers.
I've heard that, and I've never ever experienced that. Well, not when I've played. It's like they want to hit you more than a batter because if they don't,
one less bowler.
Well, yeah, Ben Hilfenhaus he was the other one as well. It's just, I remember batting 3 in a Shield game, and it was the greenest wicket ever. Fun story about my part. I batted 3 in a Shield game. Day 1, Hobart, branches growing everywhere.
Why were you number 3, if you don't mind asking?
Do we have time?
Yes, we do.
Phil Hughes got picked to play for Australia, eh?
Yep.
They took him out. He was batting 3 at the time. I came into the team, but that weekend I was slashing club cricket. So for those who know, I could only play the first weekend. I couldn't play the second. We bowled the team out. We had maybe 10 overs to bat that night. Your slash that you're filling in for next week can't bat. So you're opening. Oh. So I opened and got 50. This is in Adelaide club cricket.
Oh.
Darren Berry and Johan both didn't want to disrupt the batting order. So they said, well, you made 50 in club cricket. You're batting 3 in Shield cricket this week. Your hero's Jacques Callis. Here you go. Be Jacques Callis. So I batted 3.
Yep.
Morning, all I wanted the night before, I was like, please don't bat first. So at least I can somehow maybe look like a night watchman. Day 1, sent in, green wicket, Ben Hilfenhaus. So I'm out there batting 3. He was bouncing me with the brand new ball on the greenest wicket alive. So it does not matter where you're batting in the order, what conditions. He's a bowler. I'm bouncing him. So Ricky Ponting, fun fact, also was in the opposition team batting at 3. So you know where sometimes they say you're going to match up with your
opposite number.
Well, I made more runs than him that game.
Oh,
so there you go. There you go. And we won. It was our first win in 20 games. So I don't know why South Australia abandoned the plans. It was working.
Second innings, you were there again.
I made 15 in the first innings and made 10 in the second. Ricky Ponting, I think, made 2 or 3 and then got taken out of the game.
Wow.
With injury.
What could have been?
Mate, 1 from 1. My first class career batting at 3. So average, 12.5 batting at 3.
There's a nickname for you. Callus.
Jacques.
Yeah.
I was getting that for a while from opposition players as well. It was a weird time in my life.
All right. Most sixes in the series.
Oh, back to this.
Yeah. I mean, we can keep digressing.
We could. We haven't got time. Most sixes. I'm going Harry Brook.
Okay. I thought Harry Brook.
But you disagree?
I disagree. Now, I know this is a long time ago, but when Harry was out here playing BBL for the Hurricanes, he struggled a bit.
He did, yeah.
7 innings, 44 runs, an average of 6.29 and a strike rate of 75.
I remember Tim Davey was in next when we were playing. I said, if he hits in the air, don't catch it. Keep him in.
Keep David out and keep Brook in.
Exactly.
Right.
And then 6 months later, he's doing all these crazy things.
Things happen pretty fast after that.
They do.
But I'm just thinking, these grounds are a lot bigger than they have in England. And a lot of these guys don't have, great experience here in Australia. Well, I mean, sorry, I take that back. A lot of the top order do, but Brook is probably the one who doesn't. I reckon we're going to see him caught on the rope a few times early in the series.
Yep.
Before he sort of gets his bearings. That's my prediction.
So,
Alex Carey is my most sixes. Yep.
Okay.
As we touched on, been really aggressive recently, and I reckon he's going to – I don't want to say he's going to be comparable to a former great who batted at 7 and kept wickets.
His name.
No, I'm not going to say it. But I reckon Carey, surprise packet, most sixes for me.
Okay.
Now, the most...
I'm writing these down just because you got to keep receipts, don't you?
You do. You certainly do. Now, the next category that I have on here is the most moral victories. This is a loaded question, but could it go either way?
I'm going to leave you. You got to answer this one first, don't you?
I do, yeah. Well, England. It'll go to England.
Why?
Because they have form. I mean, it was the whole theme of the last series.
But that's the point of this question, isn't it?
What's that?
Well, they're the only one who's going to win it.
Yeah.
Because they're the only one who's ever spoken about this.
Sure.
Was it a famous quote from Harry Brook? Was that?
I can't remember where it originated from.
I think it was.
So who are you giving it to?
Well, I can't. There's no grounds whatsoever to say Australia or a single person are going to, it's such a loaded question. Of course,
All
it's
right,
England.
we'll move on. Biggest surprise, final one. Who is going to be the biggest surprise in this series?
In terms of what's the context there? Just how, like, sitting back. Wow.
Either a moment or a series performance or anything.
Well, I think a moment's. It's very hard to sit here and pick a moment because we don't know what's going to obviously unfold over the course of 25
but
days.
you could predict a hat trick. That'd be a surprise.
I'm not even going to go there. But
Okay.
I think I'll pick one from each team.
Okay, I like that.
And I'll pick the easy one, but I think Weatherald will be successful. And whether or not you can say that's a surprise because he's been picked to play. And
How
play
many
well.
runs would determine a successful series?
No, I'm not going to. You said
Okay,
stats are irrelevant, runs, all that stuff. I just think the way he goes about, like, that's. I'm sitting on the fence here, but I also think Jacob Bethel for England. So I'm going to give one in each.
Oh yeah, I like that. How many tests will Bethel play?
I think he'll play at least 3.
I like that.
If he doesn't, he's not going to start. And if he doesn't play the second, I think they're going to have to go to him.
Yep, I like
get
that
him
a lot.
in, get the future in, the way he plays, future captain, get him in.
Okay, great.
You?
My biggest surprise. I did deliberate about this, but I'm going to say Brendan Doggett will take 5 for on debut. I don't know where, I don't know when, but he will play at some point and he will take 5. That's my surprise.
So for people listening, Josh came up with these questions and you've obviously had a bit of time to think about this, right?
Well, a little bit.
You sent me the email of the run sheet last night before I went to bed and I didn't look at.
You've done pretty well, Bethel. That's good.
Well, that's pretty easy to just pick the young kid who Australia hasn't seen because they're going to be surprised, aren't they? I can't say Joe Root, but I like it. Doggett 5 for debut. You're sticking your neck out. It's hard to argue against.
And I like the South Australian quicks. I've always been a big fan of South Australian quicks.
Well, it's been the basis of the success, hasn't it? So
It sure
Queensland,
has.
South Australia, he's won a shield for Queensland. It's a decent part of his journey is Queensland. So, yeah, I like it.
Okay. We've got a couple of Hey Richos to finish with, actually. Let's get Booney's thoughts just before because he was obviously here last week and he was a big success. Booney, what do you got for us?
Nice pajamas, boys.
You actually are wearing what could be
Yes, definitely. You could.
pajamas.
Thank you, Booney, for that. Now, the first Hey Richo for this week comes in from Nathan L. All right, let's see what he's got to say.
Has he got a bit of a country twang to his...
He does, actually, yeah.
Funny.
Let's have a listen.
Hey Richo, I'd really like to know what your tattoo says on your forearm.
Which one? We've got...
Yeah, you do have a lot of ink there. I was looking at Surya Kumar Yadav, actually.
lots
He's
of
got
ink.
a lot of ink as well.
Neck.
Yeah, you're
Neck
not quite at that
additions.
level, but
No neck.
a lot on your arm. What's on the arm? What's happening?
I'm
there?
not going to go into it.
Is it personal?
No, it's not personal, but it's more like, no one really wants to hear about it. Tattoos are one of those things, right? I've got tattoos when I was an 18-year-old kid. I'm now 34.
Right.
And I don't even notice them. But if I had my time again, I probably wouldn't get them.
Really? Okay.
Well, just they're expensive.
So
they hurt a lot.
You haven't added since you were 18, 19?
No, I have.
Okay.
Just silly ones, though. Not ones that you can see because, again. So for those listening, Nathan Lyons asked that with a very big smirk on his face. So
Another loaded question.
loaded question. So I'll talk to him off air. I think he knows. So I don't know why he asked. That's a silly question.
Trying to stitch you up.
Yeah, exactly.
Now, Nathan E. also has one
Nathan
for
E.
you.
Okay.
Let's roll through this one.
Hey Richo, teach me or teach us how you bowl your slower ball.
He's such a good man.
We do have a ball here, so I'll just get you to...
This is Nathan Ellis who bowls every slow ball.
Yeah, he's
Invented.
bloody impressive, isn't
And
he?
He's just, look at him. He just doesn't switch off. Just wants to keep learning. Just missed 100%.
Would you have different slow balls to what he does? Or would they be
Well,
roughly the same?
His back of the hand one
Mm.
is what I try and bowl, but I don't have the wrist flexibility to get it back of the hand. So mine's kind of a side cutter.
Oh,
Same kind of thing, but
Yep,
his
right.
seam up, mine's more of a
cross seam.
mine more side spins, whereas his is like a back spinner that bounces.
Yeah.
So, yeah, when I bowl mine, I in my head I'm like Nathan Ellis back of the hand, or was it Ian Harvey back of the hand?
Yep.
The pioneer.
Clint Mackay.
Clint
Nathan
Mackay,
Ellis
back of the
said
hand, yeah.
he took a lot of inspiration from.
He was it was Ian Harvey, Clint Mackay, and now it's James Faulkner.
Yes, of course.
And now Nathan Ellis flying the flag for the back of the handers. So I got that one, and then my other one's deep in the hand. This is a Brett Lee special from back in the day. Brett Lee used to bowl it though with his fingers off the ball.
Mm-hmm.
I'm not sure what he called it, but it's deep in the hand. So basically, all your pressure is in your thumb and your ring finger on your right hand.
yeah.
So not your ring finger, but your what's that finger called? Your ring finger.
Yeah, that's a
Yeah.
fourth. Yep.
Your fourth finger and your thumb. They're purely on the ball just to make it look like a
Regular ball.
regular ball.
Yeah.
And I've actually been told by people that found it hard to pick when I was at my best because I actually have quite long fingers. So the difference between my stock ball
Mm,
and my deep in the hand, they couldn't
Oh.
notice when I was running in.
right.
So I think it was Moses Enriquez told me that once on a night out. And I was like, oh, well, next time I play the sixes, I'm bowling nothing but deep in the hands. But yeah, that's basically it. So I tell kids, when I try and teach kids it now, it's like, is try and pretend as if like the ball was like a Sharon or like a rugby footy ball and think you're squeezing all the air out of it. And like, or if someone was trying to steal the ball from you, they couldn't. So you're squeezing it that hard in your two fingers. And keep the fingers on. So then the batter doesn't have a cue that it's a slow ball.
Right. So rather than having the ball basically at the tips of those first two fingers, it's right back.
Literally the
in
opposite.
palm
So
of
if
the
you're going
hand.
side on, say a stock ball's somewhere in the middle, I don't know anyone knuckleball's kind of fingers tips.
Yeah, Nathan Ellis was telling us
Nathan
about
Ellis,
those
AJ
ones.
Ty. I know
Yeah.
AJ Ty practiced and Peter Siddle just
Yep.
fingers lightly on, but deep in the hand from side on, you literally can't get it any deeper.
Mm-hmm.
And you can bowl it. And the beauty of it, you can bowl it seam up with the new ball and it can shift, it can move, it can swing. Brett Lee used to bowl all the time the brand new ball later in his career and it would swing so slowly out. And it'd be like 150 Ks down at like 115.
Wow.
And it made people look silly. So he's the pioneer.
Okay.
Is Brett Lee. I think it was bunny ears or something he used to call it, something like that. But new age bowling deep in the hands is fingers on. So you're not, because I mean, if you bowl it
Cues,
once and
yeah.
people see it, everyone's going to know about it. So
Right. Do batters talk about these cues and stuff with other batters?
well,
They must.
in meetings they do. I don't know
Yeah.
if batters specifically when they're in the change rooms talk about it, but yeah, I mean, every team has an analyst now.
Mm.
So if someone's having a level of success over a period of time, why? Whether it's a spinner with their certain balls, they've got close-ups from behind, in front.
Yeah, they do,
So there's
yep.
basically nowhere to hide.
Yep.
So anytime you can try and mask it as best as possible, it's probably best suited.
Do you have more success with the side cutter or the back of the hand?
Well, it depends conditions.
Or the in the hand. Okay.
Slow, like soft wickets, like green, like wet, damp,
Lilac
green.
Hill.
Lilac Hills, slow and low would be a cutter because it's actually going to spin. Whereas a flatter wicket or like a variable bounce, I think deep in the hand because
Ah.
it can kind of trampoline through and
Yep.
get a lot of guys caught. Like Marvel Stadium back in the day used to be a little bit damp. So the deep in the hand it would just sit up and guys would literally just hit it up straight up in the air.
Yeah, okay.
So it felt like for a while there, bowling at Marvel was like, if I bowled that, I felt like if they were trying to hit for six, they'd just get out. So it was a Marvel specials.
Yeah, and you did take a few wickets in those seasons, I think, as well, didn't you? So-
Wow, yeah. All because of the
And so from going slow to going fast, Marley Beardman, who we spoke to over the weekend on the podcast, said that the fastest he's been clocked is at 147, 148.
Wow.
What's the fastest you've been clocked at?
shout out Marley Beardman too, because I saw his work.
Yeah, on the beards. Oh,
Rated me
yeah.
number one.
I don't think he knew what was coming. So.
He didn't, but I'll take it.
Absolutely.
A win's a win.
And didn't you nominate him as one of your breakout players?
yeah,
So,
I did. So
Gee, the
little
synergy
brother,
there.
I think he
is
followed me on Insta after that. So my man Marley, WG Grace stiff by the way. He's
yeah,
my number one.
Very stiff.
Fastest I've been clocked at. I don't know. I think there was a YouTube clip when I was young that was similar, but it was
Oh.
a Big Bash game, maybe like BBL 1 or 2, and it was a KFC zinger. I think it's like a 10-second clip on YouTube.
Okay,
See
definitely.
if you can find it.
Definitely looking.
And
this
it's
up.
you would not be able to post it on Instagram because the footage is literally filmed off a TV on a phone, but it's a KFC zinger for, I think it's 147.
We'll dig into the archives.
See if you
We'll
can
find it. We'll find it.
If it's still there.
Now, final Hey Richo, because I had to get through these
wow.
because
Yeah, you've had them all banked up. We haven't done it for
Oh,
15
wow.
episodes, and now we've got.
As we said, time's just flown.
Yeah, it
so
has.
last one comes in from Adam Z.
Hey Richo, how are you going wrangling the brown snakes?
It's funny because he never calls me that, Richo.
What does he call you?
Kane. Yeah. Look, it's getting better.
So there are brown snakes
Yeah.
around your property.
So I moved into a new place 3 months ago. 10 acres in the country. So
Well, we spoke about the veggie garden, didn't we? That's going
veggie
well.
gardens,
Yeah.
exactly. So there's good and sometimes there's bad. So yeah, early on there was a few there's a few critters around the place. So it was a bit nerve-wracking, especially with the kids. But it's been good. Touch wood the last couple of months. It's snake season, as we all know, and you got to be snake safe. You got to
Definitely.
keep your doors shut and you got to keep your pets under and your kids. You got to keep them, you got to make sure they're not jumping in the bushes, basically. So we got rid of a lot of bushes.
Yeah, okay. Yep.
A lot of
Clear it out a
lot of
bit.
landscaping
Yeah.
and keeping the grass nice and short. So yeah.
But
It's been good.
as you said to me off air, like you're very much, it's their home too, so you're not going to disturb them too much. You just got to relocate them a little bit.
Yeah, but also they've got 10 acres and my house and my pool and my veggie gardens are like a little part of that 10 acres. So you've got 9.6 acres you can go go live peacefully and we won't bother each other.
Yeah,
That's my
a good
message
deal.
to them. So anyone listening that represents the brown snakes and can just on behalf of all of us, just stay where you're comfortable and we'll stay where we're comfortable. We'll try not to cross paths too much.
I like it.
Thank you.
All right. Richo, pleasure as always, mate.
It's been great. Thank you. Good luck for your bigger and better endeavours on tour.
Thank you.
I'll be watching as we all will, and yeah, hopefully it's an amazing summer as it shapes up to be. I'm sure you'll remember it for a long time.
Thank you. I can't wait to see you in pink, and good luck this season.
See you on the circuit.